What's up, my know-it-alls? Welcome to this episode, spoiler-filled, where me and Mrs. Know-it-all are going to discuss the new Superman movie and how much I loved it. I do have a non-spoiler review out there, so if you're looking for non-spoilers, that's where you want to go for that. Otherwise, if you don't care, by all means, let's keep going. I'm down, man. I'm down. I love this movie. I
know, and it's not... Okay, so let's start with how Miss Know-It-all is not a big Superman fan.
Sure.
Okay, and I really, really enjoyed this movie.
Tell the truth.
No, I really did like this movie. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
You
don't have to, by the way. Like, our marriage isn't like at stake if you didn't like it. It's okay. You're allowed not to like stuff. Like, seriously.
No.
No, right on.
Well, no, and as we go on, I'll make sure I explain what my issues were.
Okay.
Because I did give it a really high rating.
Okay, right on, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I stated in my one-on-one, my solo non-spoiler review, I might change my number. I don't know yet. I'm kind of still up in the air, and really, I need to see it again. I'll be honest. I need to see it again. I'm most likely going to see it. I'll probably see it this weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is just his way of getting me back to the theater to watch it again.
Not necessarily, because I've already told you. This one
He'll just go see it by himself.
I would definitely go see it by myself.
He would totally.
And I hate going to the movies alone. To me, the movies is a communal experience that needs to be enjoyed more than just by yourself. And I would absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, go by myself to watch this movie because it's such an amazing movie for me.
We saw it at a theater, that I'm not too fond of the seats.
You didn't see it at our home theater.
I didn't see it in our home theater. We were at
well, because we went to the AMC early screening that they have available through Fandango, and luckily I got tickets. It sold out super fast.
Yeah.
And, but it was only available at one theater across town. Mm-hmm. So in our area,
it was still in our area.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, we could have gone into downtown Atlanta proper, and there's like 3 theaters that had it there. But I was like, you know what? I wanted to see it here, so we watched. We got with the one we went to. But yeah, no, it's not your favorite for sure.
You know what I really liked about it?
Yeah.
Was that. It was because it was a fan screening. The people that were at the theater alone made it fun.
Super cool.
Alone made it fun.
Yes.
We even had a Krypto.
Oh my goodness, we totally did.
You can tell that this person was a diehard Superman fan because their service dog was a Krypto.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was it was wonderful. White dog, the whole bit.
The whole 9 yards.
I love it.
And to the point where I kind of fell in love with the dog myself. That we need to get our dog the same collar with a cape.
I want that so bad.
I know, and
I'll put one on him so fast.
One of the things I did was I was looking to see, like, can I make this collar for him?
Oh, okay, that's fair.
I don't think I can because it's pretty intricate.
It's involved.
Yeah, a little too involved for me.
That's funny. No, I think it's he was super cute, and the whole thing again. The movie was really good. Where do I even know where to start? Okay, at its basic, and I think I said this in the non-spoiler review, it's like a comic book came to life.
You said that when we were in the theater.
And there was a whole bunch of people who had complaints online that I've seen who are like, it feels overstuffed or it's too much or whatever else. So here's what they've done. It drops you right in the middle of events. You get, and I've said this in the non-spoiler review, you get like 3 sentences on screen.
Yeah.
And before that basically tell you, so this is what happened right before you guys started.
300 years ago, and then 30 years ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 months ago, 3 days ago, and I think it was 3 hours ago. Right, it was just like just boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. And the whole thing, you hit the ground running.
You do.
And you're in
right away.
And you're in it. And you're in it. And you're like, okay, we're with them. We're going. And you get to see, and they jump in back and forth. You get way more Superman than I think I expected.
Really?
Because there's no preamble. There's no setup. He's been Superman. According to this movie, he's been Superman for 3 years.
Yeah.
At this point. And I'm like, okay. So, which solidifies for me that we are definitely playing in some New 52 territory. In the comic books, New 52 was sort of a soft reboot that DC did.
Okay.
And this looks a lot like that setup, even though there's other things going, like you have Lois and whatnot, which, by the way, dude, Rachel Brosnahan's amazing as Lois Lane.
The chemistry that these two had on screen were amazing.
Unreal. It was unreal. The Superman of it all I found interesting because I had an epiphany, and I mentioned it again. A lot of the stuff I'm covering same territory. I'm going deeper now into the spoilery stuff. He's absolutely Clark raised in Kansas, who now puts on an outfit and uses his powers for good. Because I always felt like it was like a switch that was flipped, and he suddenly goes from being, aw shucks Clark Kent to I'm Superman. But the truth is, he's never not going to be
that Kansas boy.
Right.
Yeah.
To the point that the way he talks is it's so funny. There's several times he catches him. He's like using these really crazy country expressions and stuff. And you're like, oh my gosh, bro, you're literally you are a farm boy in a costume.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And I feel like on some level, there's got to be some part of him that's like, man, I'm a fraud. People are going to realize, that I'm just this dude from Kansas who maybe knows what he's doing and has the ability to fly, and I loved that entire, when I had that realization, I was like, oh my God, this is wonderful. Like, it's brilliant. It makes so much sense. Krypto's not his dog.
No, and I always thought it was.
Yeah, no, I loved it. I loved it because I am familiar with that piece of the story. That's right. I'm like, let's go. Sorry.
It's okay.
I was reading something. Feel free to jump in anytime. Okay, where were we? 3, 2, 1. Let's cut this break it in. What did I just say?
Krypto's not his dog, and I said, no, it's John Kara's.
3, 2, 1. That's right. It's Kara's, and she is so funny because apparently, so everyone, there's a bunch of people who had critiques about that. They were like, so our first introduction to Kara Zor-El to Supergirl is her getting drunk, and I'm like, have you read Woman of Tomorrow, which is the book series this is the trade paperback that her story is based on, that he's basing the movie on.
Okay.
It starts with Kara steals away to other planets that have red suns to get drunk.
Yeah,
because she can't get drunk because of their super metabolism here on Earth.
Yes.
And it's because she's essentially she's a tortured teenager she witnessed the deaths of her family.
Yeah.
And her city and everything else. And so she's like living that rebellious teenage life. I have a feeling that's going to be the main story is her coming around to being a super person proper.
Right. As of right now, she just knows she has these powers, I think. I think you're right.
It's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see her story unfold, especially because we got that real quick brief thing. And you see that Krypto beats her up.
Oh, yeah. And
so
not so much beats her up, but that's how he's playful.
Yeah, the way a dog plays with its owner.
And let me tell you, Krypto was, he was... Not that you needed like a comic relief or anything, because it was a good movie, but he was definitely like the comic relief because he did dog things, like chase toys and
oh my gosh, so much,
and not listen to his owner or who he's supposed to be listening, like authority for that matter. He was a great part of this movie.
Yeah,
he really
was good. And it's the movie starts exactly
from that preview.
That preview we saw, where he crashes, he calls the dog comes and he gives him his cape. And he says, "Take me home." And when they get there, his presence makes the entire thing rise, and you see the Fortress of Solitude. It's very inspired by the old Richard Donner movie.
Okay,
so it's that whole like crystals going in pointy directions.
Well,
and
don't forget, as you're talking, you're educating me, so there might not be a whole lot that I can chime into because you're explaining a lot to me too.
That's fair. No, fair.
So, but I'm willing to tell you what Sure. I'm just saying, just so you know.
So what was it about? How did you feel about the beginning? Did it feel like it was scattered? Did it feel like it was hard to follow?
I don't know, not at all. It was. I'm really glad I've seen enough Superman movies, which is probably why I'm not a big Superman fan. Is that it always was the same thing. It's his origin story. It's how he got there. We watch him grow up and just learning how to do things. Sure. I'm probably going to get yelled at for saying these things.
Not at all. No, go for it. You're good.
But yeah, I had no problem following the story at all. None whatsoever.
So let me ask you a loaded question.
Sure.
And only because of what you just said. Because people have to remember, when I have Mrs. Know-It-All on the show, I'm purposely looking for you as a neophyte, as a novice, someone who doesn't you don't live in this the way I've lived in it for a long time. We had a production company, but you handled the business side. You weren't really into the creative side like I was. And so how did you compare, and if it's okay if you don't remember much,
sure,
compare David Corenswet to Henry Cavill? The Zack Snyder-y Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, that Superman versus this one. What are your impressions? I'm not asking who you like better. I'm asking what are your impressions? I mean, if it ends up being you have to say who you like better, that's fine. That's my issue. Out
of all the Supermans, he's my Superman.
Just David Corenswet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's
Right
my
on.
Superman.
Right
Just
on.
like when you talk about like Doctor Who's your
Sure,
doctor.
yeah.
David Tennant's my doctor.
It's hilarious you said that. That's the
Why?
example I used in my I said just like we have each
No.
of us. I did. I said just like with Doctor Who we have each of our ones. So that's wonderful you made that comparison.
Yeah, no, like
trust
he's
me,
my
she'd watch
Superman.
that show.
So if there's more,
Yeah.
I'll
That's awesome.
I'll totally see it.
Right on. What
Maybe it's because I wasn't into Henry Cavill's Superman, maybe.
Sure.
And I and the only other Superman I knew was Christopher Reeve, but he's going to always be Superman, I think, to everybody.
Sure.
I don't, I'm talking more modern.
I don't know though, because I feel like David Corenswet's about to carry that torch. I know that
That's fine. I can see that. The Crow was perfect at one point.
Brandon Routh did try to step into sort of that Christopher Reeve role when he did Superman Returns, which was supposed to sort of be a return to that style, and we're supposed to get the impression that that's who he is. He is the Christopher Reeve iteration of Superman returned to Earth after whatever period of time.
Ah, okay.
And so, and Kevin Spacey was supposed to be the what's his face who had played Lex Luthor in the original, and everybody's supposed to be other people. And so my question was, what I for one think this is going to be this is good. This Superman's going to define a generation.
I think so. I can see that.
I feel like Henry Cavill's defined a fan base.
Ah,
There's a difference.
There is.
I feel like right now, our generation, because we were exposed to Christopher Reeve first, we believe very much. We're like, oh, Christopher Reeve, Superman, the end all be all Superman.
I could see that then, or this is my Superman.
But
totally.
I feel like David Corenswet's about to redefine Superman in a way that I think Zack Snyder wanted Henry Cavill to, but he did it by putting him in a different context. He made it so Zack Snyder went for this dark, dour, very serious, very I say cinematic, like big movie, whatever style of Superman that was, I feel like he wanted to go for like the godlike, and I feel like the difference is that Superman's never, well, I hate to say never, because I feel like in all these years he's been portrayed in every version, every style, in every way possible. Yeah. So I'm going to say tongue in cheek, this has never been at the core of who Superman is. Okay. Is he godlike? Yes. But I feel like he's always been very humble about that. I feel like he's not. But when you see this one, I feel like this stands next to the Christopher Reeve version in context, and then and is a different flavor of that style of Superman.
Okay.
I may have said a lot of things to say nothing, but at the end of the day, you get the.
I understood what you meant, and that's for me to understand that. Then
no, I appreciate
that's
that.
pretty good.
I do appreciate that.
That's pretty good.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna move on from Superman to Lex because I did like this Lex.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that Nicholas Hoult does an amazing Lex.
I figured this is if there was a Lex Luthor, this is who he would be.
Sure. Sure.
That he's just that slimy.
What an interesting character too. Like not just the one thing they've made really clear in this one versus other ones is that this Lex is so originally, I don't know if you know this or not. Originally Lex Luthor hated Superman because Superman did a thing that made Lex turn bald.
No.
Yeah, that was I'm talking backbacks like
that's
golden age era, early days, like long time ago. That has long since not been his reasoning. It's shifted more to you're an alien on Earth and whatever else. This one they made very clear. Lex Luthor hates Superman because Lex Luthor, by any other measurement and any other metric, would be the most powerful man on the earth, the smartest man on the earth, the most worshipped or thought to or whatever. And instead, this guy who did nothing but show up, suddenly and has real power, just captures the minds and hearts of the world. And Lex
is nice.
And Lex is relegated to the back of the theater in terms of being able to who he is. And so he's ultimately comes down to jealousy.
Right.
And they even say that.
Yeah, during their little monologue.
At the very end. Yeah, man, when they were going at it. So anyways, huge cool consistency thing. So I love the fact that Lex built a he has a little pocket dimension.
Little pocket dimension. And
why do I care?
You care because we saw it in Peacemaker.
That's right.
When Peacemaker's dad had a pocket dimension in his closet.
Yeah, do that old little Tesseract-y type pocket dimension.
Speaking of Peacemaker.
No kidding, that cameo.
The cameo was great. He was totally like...
I loved it so much. Talking trash.
Yeah, why talking trash?
It was good. No, it was good. I really dug all the extra characters. By that I mean, and nobody felt like it's okay for me. Nobody felt like they were like everyone was like too many characters, too many characters. I didn't feel like any of them were over. Like it weighed down anything.
No, not at all.
I felt very much like it all really fit very well.
Not at all. Yeah, even down to the Department of Defense.
Yeah.
Like each person, especially the one that really did like Superman, didn't know how to bail Superman out of not being liked anymore, or him being told by Lex that he was a weapon. Or what we could consider a weapon.
Let's talk about that for a second, because that's actually the biggest. So that's a huge source of contention people online. The idea changing Superman's origin story. Now, I don't think they changed it all the way, but they changed a major part of it. So, for instance, his world still exploded. He was still sent away to rescue himself, for them to save their last child.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently there's a cameo from Bradley Cooper playing Superman, saying Jor-El in the message. But apparently there's a message he has, and in the message Superman hears that he's been listening to it always over and over. His old parents saying, "Hey, we loved you. We sent you to Earth to hopefully, be to rise, be strong.
Show them hope.
Lead them through your strength. Be who you're supposed to be. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Positive message. But then the rest of it gets garbled and lost because it crashed. So then Lex shows up. One, he discovers the place with, he's got Ultraman. Ultraman, we find out, is a clone. I think we kind of telegraphed that. A clone of Superman.
Right.
And the engineer who's all cyber chick, who's like T-800 or whatever, from T-1000 from I say T-800 because that was the one T-1000, T-1100, whatever. The female one from Terminator 3 or some nonsense like that. Terminator Judgment Day.
Whichever one.
Yeah, whatever.
There's so many Terminators.
It's so terrible.
I lost
anyway,
track.
so I feel like she shows up. They track it down, the Fortress of Solitude, because they couldn't find it because the thing goes into the ground. It buries itself.
Right.
So she cracks the code and defrags the message, and you find out Superman was sent there as a weapon, potentially, to conquer the planet. Now, I think it's a bad translation.
Oh, sure.
I'm kind of now, but they don't resolve that in this movie.
They will.
So I'm
thinking they will.
I'm hoping. But either way, it was interesting because I felt like when you look at the character through that lens, like how did that affect you?
It made Superman to be out to be the bad guy.
Or at the very least, the people who sent him weren't that benevolent.
Right.
And my problem was it turns him into the Saiyans or the Viltrumites from Invincible and or Dragon Ball. Here's the thing. The Viltrumites are fake pseudo Kryptonians. Like they're
that's right.
Invincible is an allegory of Superman.
Right.
It's supposed to be the deconstruction of the Superman mythos, and that's why same thing as Homelander from. Mm-hmm. So for the Superman to change his origin so much to make it like these things that were supposed to be deconstructions of it felt off to me in terms of how that particular piece of how it should be represented.
Well, it kind of, I get, for me, that just says that it's nature versus nurture at that point.
Sure.
Because in the beginning of the movie, you have, when he's all beat up, they said, I find it soothing when he listens to the voice of his parents. And then at the end, they said, you want us to play, things from your parents? And he said, yeah, because he finds it soothing. And it's pictures of him. We again then see more of his origin story
Mom,
through
Pa,
Mom,
baby
Pa,
pictures and videos.
Absolutely, which I thought was so cool.
I love Mom, Pa. Let's talk about Mom, Pa. That's a great they were wonderful in this.
They were great.
Those two actors who play his parents in this, I believe firmly, are just so incredibly talented.
Mm-hmm.
It's Pruitt Taylor Vince and Neva Howell. Pruitt Taylor Vince plays Jonathan or Pa Kent. He's been in a lot. He was the He was in Constantine. He was the priest that helped Constantine with the mirror demon thing.
Okay.
And then Niva Howell, I've never seen before, but she plays Martha Ma Kent. And they are such an amazing Western family or whatever, middle of America type family. And I loved this so much because this was the nurturing, caring, loving relationship. So one of my biggest issues with the Zack Snyder stuff, okay, has always been the portrayal of Ma and Pa Kent. Mm-hmm. I don't mind what they did in terms of Ma helping him talk through his powers and the whole bit, whatever else. But I never liked this overabundance of you got to hide who you are, Clark. You got to hide who you are. You got to be essentially like
the world's
but
gonna...
it was almost a fearful hide who you are. I feel like the reason that felt off to me, I'm not going to argue the merits of it. It's fine and works within the context of the story. It's not written badly just because I don't like it. Okay,
right?
It's just something I don't like, and it's again, your mileage may vary, and that's totally fine. But what I think is Superman to me has always been a product of how he was raised, and he was raised to help the downtrodden, to be fearless, to trust in God, to focus on what our American values and what our values are and where those things, country outlook, and this whole idea of him ever having been told be afraid of the outside world I feel I don't think that's real.
No,
that's never been part of who he was, or until the Zack Snyder made it that
decided,
way.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I think like Smallville and other shows, I was
just getting ready to say Smallville was.
They made assertions to it, but it wasn't part of necessarily the way he was raised per se. Like he wasn't raised to be afraid of it. It was just, and they've always said at some points in the stories, they've always said, when the time comes to reveal yourself, you'll be ready, you'll know, blah blah blah, whatever else. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I believe these parents raised this Superman.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say.
I have a hard time believing that the Henry Cavill version raised a Superman who was a hero of any kind. I feel like there was a cynicism that was ingrained into him that I don't appreciate. The way he talked to Lois about things at the time was very like you could see there was a bitterness there in him, and it was it's a very dark take, especially if someone who wants to be raised up as see them as gods. And I feel like the other thing I liked about this in that same vein was the lived-in nature of the world. We didn't have when monster attacks, there's an alarm. People are evacuated. Mm-hmm. Buildings are evacuated. We solved two problems immediately. Buildings are evacuated. Oh, well, there's all this. He's doing all this millions of dollars of damage because people get mad because we said the same thing about. Here's the thing: if you're going to compare this and the fighting that happens in Metropolis here to the Zack Snyder one, where Zack Snyder's Superman and Zod leveled the city.
Yeah.
The city ceased to exist. It was all shattered with no hope that people were safe or something.
Saved at all.
Okay, versus this one where it felt like Metropolis from the comic books. They're used to it. They're like, oh, everybody got to evacuate. Superman's fighting somebody. Well,
then it's because I was going to say, we again, I think it goes back to dropping us into, we didn't need any origin story. We didn't need all this.
True.
Metahumans are a thing.
Yeah. No,
that's all there is to it.
That's real. You're right. That's a good way to put it. I hadn't even really thought of it that way.
Yeah. And the world just kind of adapted to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right. And I think that's exactly how
which is what I think makes Lex even more angry, is that metahumans are more popular than he is.
Sure.
Not
Absolutely.
just Superman, but I think them just it just adds fuel to the fire.
Yeah. Okay. Only because I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about it.
Okay.
There is a through line that people are talking about that is political. There's this through line of, I know, right? So
what is the through line?
So apparently James Gunn came out talking about that it's an immigrant story and whatever else. And I do think it is. It's a total immigrant story. But at the same time, there are people who want to say that he's politicizing stuff. Here's the thing. I watched the movie. The movie is as not woke as any Superman story I've ever read in my life.
I did not think this was woke at all.
Exactly.
Honestly,
Same.
not that I'm looking for it, but
no, but there's times that
we've recently seen movies where I'm just like, really, this is what we're going to talk about. So,
yeah. And series.
Yeah, and series as well.
So it's I'm with you.
But I didn't.
Neither did I. I thought this was very much it was a wonderful Superman story. I'm sure there probably is nuance there. I'm sure, but it wasn't enough to disturb.
But I'm not looking for it. Now, are people saying this because they're looking for it?
Maybe, but at the same time, well, no, but James Gunn did say it was an immigrant story. That was it. He brought up that, and then his brother doubled down and said if the people like Fox News style people don't like it, oh well, blah blah blah, whatever else. Because they do want to be dumb. Hollywood people want to be dumb and double down on nonsense. And by that I just mean nobody's saying anything about it. Like it's great. Even the people who normally naysay about that kind of thing, the anti-woke crowd, they're all like this. No, this wasn't woke. I know some of them are like, it wasn't good because they want to have judgments and whatnot. And they're rage baiters. Rage baiters are going to rage bait.
Yeah.
Okay. But at the same, whether it's because of ideological differences or just it wasn't a good movie. Look, this was an excellent movie. The thing you have to remember, this movie has several things riding on it. It has the future of the DCU cinematic universe. Yeah. It has the future of Superman. Mm-hmm. And it also was the benchmark by which would determine what else we're going to get down the road. So I have a feeling that DC was like, we want to see where this is going before we get, because now I have a feeling now we're going to start hearing a lot more about things being kicked into high gear. Matt Reeves just turned in his first draft of the second Batman movie that's supposed to come out. So the Batman 2. And so we know things are moving forward. James Gunn has said there's a secret project. A lot of people think it's the Terrifics. Now that we have 3 members of that team on this, there's only one character missing off the Terrifics. We've got Mr. Terrific, we've got Metamorpho, and they have to add Plastic Man. And I'm telling you right now, Plastic Man would be awesome. People do not understand the power of Plastic Man. He would be amazing. Give me the shades, give me all of it. He would be unreal and unbeatable, and I would love him so much. Him, honestly, I want him. I want the Flash. I want to see Lanterns. I'm ready for that Lantern series.
Oh yes,
which has got Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, and you're like, come on, man, they're gonna be so good. What did you think of Green Lantern in this? And Nathan Fillion as
well. I'm not used to Green Lantern being portrayed like this, so this was a bit different for me. Funny, Oh my gosh, he was funny.
It's Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner became I would say by a mistake, but he became Green Lantern, and because of he had strong will and he was sort of a rebel.
Yeah.
And man, he's always been that hothead type guy, and it's interesting, very interesting to see how they portrayed it. And I liked it. I thought it was good. Yeah.
Did you not like anything of the movie?
I thought so.
What?
Because I'm like, no, the movie's great. No, because like right now I have another good thing I want to talk about, but at the same time I want to answer.
I mean, if you don't have anything that's like real critical about it, then there's nothing.
I think the approach to the storytelling, us as comic book fans, we're okay. We deal with this all the time. We go to look at the thing. You open up a book. Not every comic book does not have a. This is where we are so far. This is the story of this and that. Sometimes you just jump in with dudes swinging on somebody and you're like, oh. And a little caption that says, continued from last issue. Got it. We're in the middle of a fight. Okay. This movie dumps you right there. While I appreciate that as a comic fan, because again, comic book, I'm used to, I'll jump in, I'll pay my $1.75 and I'm good to go. And that's it. I got my story. Mm-hmm. I don't care where it's at. I don't have the first 2 issues. Whatever. I'll move on. But I feel like not every moviegoer is going to be like that. So I think a lot of people are going to interpret this as confusion. And I think that's why you get a lot of the critics who are, I say critics, you know what I'm saying, the people who are online giving their opinions, same as me. But I think you're going to see that a lot of those are based in them trying to hold this to another movie standard. And like not like a specific movie, but like a Hollywood, I am a critic and every movie should have these pieces. Fine. But I also feel like you should meet movies where they are.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not a comic book fan thing, and I had no issue because they went through everything right at the beginning with,
That's it.
That's all you need. You don't
agree.
need to know where it
Just need
started.
a couple of quick
you
captions.
Just been like,
you know?
yeah, he got his butt whooped. I mean,
Yeah. And then he whistled for the dog, and we know it was
Yeah.
coming. And it was good. I thought it was good. It was, but yeah, no, I don't have a whole lot of things that are shortcomings for me. Again, his origin story change was that was a big like, oof, really, that's what we're doing for me. But all in all, I liked everything. I really did. I really enjoyed it. I do feel like because it had so much writing on it, it is very frenetic at times, so it feels disjointed. But I don't think it's disjointed at all.
right. I didn't have a hard time following it.
I feel like we
didn't.
had for me, the best example is the time he spends at his parents' house.
Yeah.
We got enough of that time. It made sense in a way that I liked a lot and was able to process. And it showed us a glimpse into who he is. And that's important. Excuse me. I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm missing. Lois, I thought was great. I thought that everybody at Jimmy. When did he become a player, bro? Jimmy is
Jimmy's
like,
a player.
oh my gosh, so much. It's just unreal. I was like, okay.
You liked the fact when they were in Mr. Fantastic's little ship thingy.
Mr. Terrific.
What did I say?
Fantastic.
I'm on the wrong movie.
No, you're good.
Yeah, him. When they were in his ship, Lois starts dictating, and I was like, and you're like, is he really? And I'm like, yeah, he really is.
She's telling us like she's got to start. She's doing a story.
Yep.
And they're gonna post the story because what I love is they never lost the investigative journalism angle.
No, they didn't.
Even if it became a subplot, they never lost it to the point that Perry and Jimmy and Lois and several other people were all in that little terrific car and were doing their thing. You know what I mean? They were doing their thing, and then finally they published the story, and next thing you know, the TV's like, the Daily Planet's reporting that Lex Luthor such and such, and I'm like, oh. That is awesome. The fact that he got busted by Lois.
Yep.
He did not get busted by Superman. He was busted by Lois.
Yep.
Chef's kiss. Very well done. No, very well done. I again, this movie, I enjoyed it. I thought Mr. Terrific was amazing. I thought it was very well done. Having compared it to the one that we had in the CW with The Flash, I feel like this is the better version of Mr. Terrific.
Okay.
And I really did appreciate that very much, this character. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm that's really missing off the bat of this. I think we've covered most everything. Can you think of anything that we didn't cover?
Why I didn't like certain parts of it?
Let's run it.
All right. So I have never, and I hate it to this day, and it doesn't change just because it's Superman.
Sure.
I do not like it when the hero is pointed out to be the villain. I find that to be a waste of time. I find it to be a waste of energy when it comes to a movie or a story. I don't care if it's a plot because we all know how it's going to turn out.
Sure.
They're going to be found innocent, and it's dumb as far as I'm concerned. Okay.
Sure.
So that is the one thing that did take me out of it. I'm like, if this is what most of this movie is going to be about, trying to clear Superman's name, this is not going to be a good movie for me because I don't like it at all. And it wasn't. It was cleaned up and cleared up real quick.
Sure.
And that is one thing that I really do appreciate about that.
Right on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, okay, I can see that. That makes sense. It does make sense. That can be jarring, especially when sometimes it can feel lazy.
Yeah,
because you're like, well, it's the so it's the issue that a lot of people thought Marvel used to have, which is every villain had to be the same guy repackaged. Iron Man fights another guy in an iron suit. The Hulk fights another mutated,
big guy,
mutated giant monster rage beast. Everyone has to fight something similar to their own thing, and I feel like, and there was a risk of that here, but which is because now he's going to go through this and that and the other, and that's one of the most famous Superman movies, Superman 2, has Superman because of his exposure to a different kind of kryptonite, red kryptonite. He becomes evil Superman. Remember, he was in the bar.
Had a problem with that in Smallville.
Right, same thing. Same idea.
That's actually when I stopped watching Smallville. I'm like, I'm not, because again, it's like, he's already good. Why do you got to make him bad? It's like, I don't understand. Like, be more creative with your writing, or
sure.
And that's not just for superhero or Marvel movies or. I don't like any movie that's like that. 'Cause I'm just like, seriously now, or my favorite is. Another one of my favorites is when people don't listen to like everything's like right in front of you type thing.
Sure.
Good.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like now the entire movie is somebody, trying to convince somebody else, even though like there's a huge monster in the background. And they're like, oh, monsters don't exist. But it's right there and you're an idiot because you don't know how to write. So that's just like my only...
That's awesome.
So that's... But, it's just... You're right.
I hear you.
It's the type of writing. So but they said it and they cleared it up real quick. It wasn't the entire movie, which was very, very good.
Right on.
So...
No, and again, I think it's one of those things that I can totally understand where you're coming from. I really can. And maybe it's because it's such a common trope of comic books that it didn't affect me as much. I was able to roll with it. Then again, in comic books, you roll with most everything. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I can see how that can be distressing because it also, like you said, it feels lazy. It was original the first dozen times we ever saw it. Now it's like, okay, guys, what are we doing? Especially with potential for like multiverses and things like that come with comic book movies.
Speaking of monsters in the background,
yeah.
I totally did. I remembered this after the words came out of my mouth. How about the scene where Lois and Superman are in, I don't know if it's her house, his house, or someone's house.
It's his. That's his place.
Is that his place?
She has a key to his place.
Oh, okay. That's how that works. And offers him cocoa, which I thought was adorable. Offers him cocoa.
It's the most domestic scene in the whole thing.
And she's like, aren't you going to go out there and help?
And outside his window.
And outside his window is this huge eyeball.
Is the Justice Gang fighting this...
The Justice Gang.
This dimensional thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, they got it.
Yeah, they got it.
Good.
They're fine.
And I'm like, okay, welcome to a lived-in DC universe.
I was going to say, they're used to this.
Yeah, it was great. And what I did love is in that moment, she kept, like, while they're talking and he's just being nonchalant and chill, she's like, okay, sure. Well, she keeps looking outside, like, should we worry about this? And he's like, no, they're good. They can handle it.
Yeah.
They can take care of it. I was like, right on, dude. Right on. The whole relationship between Lois and Clark, I appreciated in a big, big bad way. She at one point says she thought about breaking up with him. It was such a real moment, even though they have amazing chemistry and they feel like they're made for each other. She felt like she's still struggling with, who am I in this relationship? You know what I mean? And what do you think of their interview when they did the interview?
That was great because you could tell, like, I think that probably showed a human side, that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, I agree.
When it comes to Superman,
I agree.
His human side, the frustration level.
Oh my God, so much. And the thing is, people don't understand. He isn't a god.
No,
he's a dude who was raised in Kansas who can fly and do these things, and he makes the best choices he can. And now people want to question them, and he's like, if I didn't do something, somebody was going to die. Period.
Right.
I don't care who the person was. That's what's going to happen. Now, thank you for bringing that up. I love the fact they didn't fall prey to wanting to give him that God complex. So in Zack Snyder's, you have several moments where the people are like reaching out for Superman with this like worshipful awe. And in this one, you had that moment where the kid with the flag, and you think, oh, Superman's going to show up, and he doesn't.
Right.
Because he's busy fighting.
Right.
What he did do was he sent his buddies.
Right.
And I thought that was amazing. Because it could have been him showing up through the light and the clouds looking like all special. And they didn't fall for that trap.
Right.
And I felt like that would have been such a clear trap that people would have been like, Snyder did it better and whatever else. And I'm like, no, but this is more realistic. Because he still
called
cared.
backup, man.
He did. He still cared enough to worry about them and be like, hey, I can't be everywhere. Can you guys go take care of this, please? And that's huge. That I loved. What do you think of the Justice Gang, like Hawk Girl and Mr. Terrific and all them? What did you think of them?
I liked them.
They were cool.
Yeah. I don't know much about them except I know of the Green Lanterns and I know of Hawk Girl from the
was it the CW show?
No,
she was briefly on the
cartoon, the Justice League.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yes.
I can't tell you. I did not.
Justice League International.
I did not sit down and watch it. I was, let's say, forced to watch it from a previous life before meeting you.
She, Merced, the actress who plays Hawk Girl, She said, Isabella Merced, she said that she knows the animated show. That's where she knows Hawk Girl from. And she said that she wishes they would do a Jon Stewart Hawk Girl romance. Well, they won't. They romance.
Oh, wow.
Because in the animated series, they had one. And it was a part of their relationship. And she's like, I'm down. And I'm like, I bet you are. I see the hunky stud who's playing Jon Stewart. Okay, bro, with the pretty eyes and everything. Like, stop it. Okay, honestly, I can't wait for Lanterns. That always makes me think, because I really can't wait to see Hal Jordan and that whole thing. Again, it's going to do. If this is any indication of the kind of stuff we can get, I know the next thing we're getting is going to be it's Peacemaker. Peacemaker will we get next?
Yeah.
And what's great is Peacemaker's supposed to have a major cameo in it. And they've already revealed that the Hawk Girl and the Justice Gang have a cameo with Maxwell Lord in Peacemaker.
Oh, okay.
So there's another, and according to James Gunn, it is a major cameo.
Oh, wow.
In the series. And I have a feeling it might be David Corenswet as Superman.
Huh.
Even if it's just like a brief moment or something.
Well, I could see that. Well, James Gunn is saying that it's a major person or is a major plot.
Yeah.
Or both.
I can see that.
Because Peacemaker was talking a whole bunch of crap.
He was. It's good. No, it's gonna be good. But yeah, man. Is there anything else what else? Is there anything else you didn't like?
No, that was it. That was literally the only thing that I didn't like. I didn't think it was too long. I didn't think it was too short. I think it was a perfect runtime.
I could have stood for about 20 more minutes.
I bet you could have.
No, I mean, like I didn't want like an hour. Like some people were like, give me 3 hours. No. It was 2 hours and 10 minutes, not counting the waiting for Nicole Kidman. And we saw it at an AMC. And so for me though, it was much more like I just got here, and the thing is they went so fast. Everything happened so quickly that when you're done, you're like,
now what?
Okay, I get
just
it.
like as you got your bearings.
Yeah. You're just like, you catch your breath and you're like, and it's over. And you're like, what? Then there was the two end credit scenes. The first one I thought was cute, which is just Superman and Krypto sitting on the moon watching the Earth. That was fine. But then the second one, what was the second one? Do you remember?
I do. I remember it was when the building was uneven. It didn't line up correctly.
And it's literally him and Mr. Terrific staring at it. And Terrific's like, what do you want me to do? Take it apart, put it back together again? And he's like, well, no, I'm just. And then he walks away and Superman's like, darn it, Clark, why are you so mean? And I was like.
Again, a boy from Kansas.
Totally.
And he doesn't swear.
I love it. I love that so much.
Yeah.
I just love that because it's like, dude, you're Superman. You're supposed to be the you're the model of what this is all about. You know, everyone strives to be like you. So here's my question: how do you do Batman in this universe? How do you do great? Because you can't go deep, dark, and gritty. You can't do that. But at the same time, because even in the comics where he is dark and gritty, he's still wearing the Batman underoos outside. Like, is he taking so in this universe he's taking a cue from Superman and wearing them on the out? Do you think he would get
maybe?
Think we'll get boxer brief Batman?
Maybe.
That'd be interesting. And then of course he said.
The only Batmans that I really liked were the Tim Burton ones. So
that's fair. No, it's because you have taste. So you're good. You're good. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, there you go. Now you know. If you always have to battle, you have to, but you know it all yourself. What is the Know It All Index for us? I'm gonna let you give yours first, and then I'm gonna give my rethought one.
All right, and I'm gonna give it a 9.
Nice.
9.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I had also done a 9.
Okay.
I had done a 9 out of 10. Before in my solo review.
Okay.
The non-spoiler review. I think I'm going to change it. I'm going to go 8.5.
Why?
It's not bad. It's not. I now that I'm being more grounded. I am a critic. I am a fan of these things, but I have to be honest. And in my honest estimation, there are some shortcomings that your average audience member won't understand. Just because I'm a comic book fan and I have that shorthand, I got to think really in terms of my audience isn't all comic book people. Like sometimes you're going to see people who aren't. So as a result, the more realistic thing is, hey, it is good. It is very good. Let's give it a 9. Let's go 8.5. Just so you understand, the only reason it's not a 9 or better is because there are some things that I know an average audience is going to bump into. I don't think it's going to ruin the experience, but it could cause a little bit of trip ups.
And let me guess, one of it was because it was jam packed with stuff.
But I loved that.
Yeah.
I did love that. And I would tell you, I pre-warned Salty went to go see it today.
Oh, okay.
And I told him, I said, go in knowing you're being dropped smack in the middle of a story.
Yeah.
And you're expected to hit the ground running with them. And he goes, okay, that's fair. He goes, I know my wife's going to hate that. And I was like, I feel you on that, bro. I totally feel you on that. He's
What's
like,
funny is that their wives you two's wives are going to probably be different.
No, very. But overall though, I've enjoyed this. I am ready for more of him. I hope and just pray that we get it. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard much from the Snyder Bros. People upset. I haven't heard that much of that. There are some reviews out there that are not good, and that's okay. Understand something. A negative review is just as valid as a positive review in that you need to ultimately go see the movie for yourself.
Well, I think if we've always also when you now that you say that, if you go in knowing what somebody did not like about it,
sure,
you're aware of it and. Okay, I'm going to expect this to happen.
Right.
Like if someone would say there's a brief moment where everyone's going to turn against Superman, I would like, okay, I'm bracing
I'm now
for
prepared
it.
for that.
I'm now prepared for it. Probably would have gotten maybe a 9.5 out of me then, just because I was ready for it. And that's what makes it totally, not appropriate then for the rating. But
no, I hear you. But yeah, man. All right. Well, those are our reviews. Those are our scores. Would love to hear your scores. Want to hear what you think. I know we went a little long on this one, but this is a really great movie, and I am very happy that we had a chance to talk about it. So, let me know in the comments what you thought. And again, don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps us in the algorithms. Everybody know you want to be part of the Know It All Nation. But more important than that, guys, take care. And I cannot wait to talk to you about the next very exciting thing coming down the pike, whatever that is. Never forget.
Everyone loves a know-it-all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.